Traditional stuffed crepes are awesome, but today I'm gonna show you a way to take crepes and turn them into this show-stopping cake. Let's get started. All right, so our first step is to make our batter. So I've got a blender. I think the best way to make crepes is with a blender just because it really blends everything together. You don't have to worry about lumps and stuff. Use a blender. So, milk, 4 eggs, and I've also got some melted butter. I have let this cool down a bit to more like room temperature. You don't wanna add hot butter in or you're gonna start cooking your eggs, and we don't want scrambled eggs in our crepes. So, melted butter cooled down to room temp, and we're just gonna give this a quick blend just to start mixing all our liquids together. Done. Now we're gonna add our dry ingredients. So we've got our flour, got about half a teaspoon of salt, and blend again and combine. Now, this is gonna need to rest for just a little bit, like 30 minutes in the fridge, just to really allow all the flour to get into all the liquid. So I've got a bowl right here we're just gonna pour it into and stick this right in the fridge. Okay, our batter has been rested. It's time to make some crepes. So, I've got a nonstick pan here as large as I can get, sort of, because what we're gonna do is pour our batter in and make sure it evenly but thinly covers our pan. They're not gonna cook very long, so you wanna make this as easy for yourself as possible. We're not gonna heat this too high, just about like medium low, because what we're gonna try to do is get our batter to run around the pan before it really starts to cook, while also cooking so it sticks to the pan and stays thin. It's easier than it sounds, I promise. So, our pan's starting to get hot. I've got some melted butter again, and we're just gonna use it to brush our pan, just to continue to create a nonstick surface. We're just going to take a cup of batter, and I like to tilt the pan as soon as you pour it in, because we're gonna sort of swirl the batter around. Now, important thing to know, your first crepe is always your test crepe. If you mess it up, that's okay. It was just your test one. So let's test one. So we'll just swirl it around, fill in any holes. Get it all around there. Great, and that's gonna sit just for a couple of minutes, and you can see it's already starting to cook on the edges because this is really thin. Just for a couple of minutes, we'll check, see if it's starting to turn golden, and then we're gonna flip it. And then it only needs like 15 seconds, 30 seconds on the other side, and that's it. So, so simple. You can see it's already like almost completely set. Nothing is moving around anymore. So it's like almost done. You can tell it's gonna start to bubble. It's gonna start to go a little brown around the edges, and that's sort of how you know it's time to flip. All right, so you can see it's starting to go golden there. That's exactly what we're looking for. I wanna see if I can get it a little golden over here too, but you can see it's starting to bubble. That's perfect. Let's flip it over, just see it's all in one pancake just from the side. Flip. If you can make it perfect, then great, yay! So again, just like 15, 30 seconds on this side, because it's already kind of almost cooked through. We're just trying to get some color, just finish that other side, because they are really thin. And then we'll keep going, make some more crepes. 3, 2, 1. Oh yeah, ready? Ta-da! That's a pretty dang perfect crepe. All right, I'm gonna lower the heat again a little bit just to start our next one, because remember, we don't want it to cook as soon as it hits the pan. We want it to sort of start to set, but still allow us to move the batter around. And you just want to keep an eye on the temperature of your pan as you go, because it is going to keep getting hotter. You just want to really adjust to each crepe. If it seems like it's a little hot, lower the temp, that's fine. It seems like if it's a little cold, bump up the temp a little bit. All right, so you can see, like this one, I didn't quite get as evenly thin. It's got a little bit of a thicker bit there. I just had my pan a little too hot, and that's okay. They're still gonna be delicious. They're just pancakes, right? And we'll get this one off. All right, so this is my last one. We've gone through our batter. We now have our beautiful plate of crepes. Now, you can serve these just like this. For breakfast, you can put some powdered sugar and butter on them. You can put some jam. You can put ham and cheese in them. You can do anything you want with them just like this. But we're gonna make a crepe cake. So, I've got some lime mascarpone frosting filling that I made earlier, some diced mango, and a little bit of shredded coconut. And we're gonna do a sort of tropical crepe cake. So, this is like easiest cake to me ever because I can't bake. So I think this is really impressive because it's like making pancakes and you turn it into a cake. So I like to put just a little bit of frosting on the bottom just to keep like our crepes from sliding around. And we'll just lay one down, put some frosting on. And you don't want to overload it too much because we're gonna do a lot, we're gonna do a bunch of layers of crepes. All right, I'm gonna also add just a little bit of shredded coconut. But remember, we're putting pretty thin crepes on here, so you don't want to overload it too much. So just a little coconut, I'll put a little diced mango. So again, just like a teeny bit, because we'll work our way up and the mango and coconut will alternate and it'll be still pretty full of coconut and mango, even if it's a little sparse on each layer. So I have built up with about 11 crepe layers and I'm just gonna put the last one over the top. And keep in mind, there are a lot of layers of all the frosting and the mango and the coconut, so it is a little lumpy, but it's all spread throughout. So if it's not like completely even, you're okay because each layer adds to the evenness. So we did just coconut and mango, but you could do even just regular frosting if you want. If you just want to go buy some store-bought frosting, that would also work great. It's just a cake, so customize it how you like. And that is our basic crepes turned into a crepe cake. This is such a great recipe because you can do anything you want with the crepes. You can have them for breakfast just as is, you can add an egg to them, or you can build a beautiful, impressive crepe cake. Let me know what you decide to do.